So Modern Warfare 3 is upcoming, a reveal soon sometime after Season 5, and we've been doing what we can to keep you up to date and keep you informed, objectively speaking, on all the information and leaks out there surrounding Modern Warfare 3. I know that inevitably I've had some personal input in some of those videos, and as this video going out, I'll be on vacation, so I've been making videos in bulk, and I definitely recognize that some of that has bled over with personal opinions. But again, my aim is for what I'd say, hopefully 90 to 95% of the coverage is just objective, straight up information to let you do with it what you will. You're informed, then you can form your own opinions out of it. But today, I want to take some time to have a serious chat about Modern Warfare 3, give my own take and opinions on what we see unfold, and have some discussions here with you about where I'm at mentally when it comes to Modern Warfare 3, my expectations, the level head that I'm going to try and keep, but also that if we're lucky, while we can all go in with level heads, that hopefully we can enjoy it on the other side of this build up to that release. But we'll definitely need some proof or results first, I think. So as we go along, drop your thoughts down below. Hear me out and let me know if you agree, disagree, or anything in between. Feel free to share your thoughts down below. But if you enjoy the video, you find it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 3 ahead of the reveal and ahead of all upcoming later this year. I mean, we got some cool stuff as gamers here coming in the next couple of months. While yes, we'll be talking about Modern Warfare 3 a lot here on the channel, we'll have XDefiant here hopefully sooner. We'll have things like Starfield, maybe some Spider-Man content on the second channels will be starting up again here. But anyways, if you're interested in any of that, make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay on top of all of it. I would love to have you in the community, but for now, let's jump into it. So let's just be blunt with this. We said it before, but we gotta temper our expectations for this year, I think. We've heard a lot of promising stuff coming out of the leaks so far, but here's the thing. Fundamentally, a lot of the game is going to be the same, or pending no insane fundamental changes here to the core gameplay mechanics and everything like that, Sledgehammer is essentially making an expansion here for this. If you don't like this game currently, it's very possible that you will not like Modern Warfare 3 and what's upcoming. I mean, after all, it seems like this again was originally just going to be a year 2 DLC content, but instead of just dropping it in seasons of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 throughout a second year of support, instead they built a new campaign, zombies, and some new gameplay mechanics and fundamentals around that core map pack to justify a $70 price tag. As I've said before, I'm absolutely cautious. I want to be cautiously optimistic because I'd like to think, a genuinely positive person. And I mean, this has without a doubt been the most negative in a year for Call of Duty that I've been in my recollection. And the thing is I want to enjoy the game. I want to see the community enjoy the game again. I personally think that there is absolutely the possibility that we could have a good game this year if, again, we see some fundamental changes that Sledgehammer may actually be working on if the leaks do hold true, if those things like Ninja as a perk, like red dots on the minimap, like movement changes perhaps to ADS speeds, sprint to fire speeds, movement speeds, and things like that can all hold up. If those things are made, fundamentally, just even that little bit can change the core gameplay feel tremendously. I mean, just listing off those things, it would basically be the community gripes that we've had about Modern Warfare 2 that Infinity Ward was way too stubborn on despite all the feedback they had gotten and doubled down on instead of testing any alternatives, that Sledgehammer would then just come in and change completely. I'd be totally fine for that kind of stuff. I've said it from the very beginning here. I've felt jaded from the first gameplay that we had ever seen of Modern Warfare 2 because, I mean, here's the thing. We talked about there was plenty of feedback given. I've said it before. It's not a surprise at this point, I don't think, but I mean, all the way back in, I want to say February of last year, right before Season 2 for Vanguard kicked off. That was right after the whole fiasco with Caldera happened and everything, right? So we got into this call with developers at Raven, and some studio heads for Infinity Ward were there as well. And to talk about the future of Warzone, they inevitably had to talk about Modern Warfare 2. That was the first time that we had seen or heard the name Modern Warfare 2 thrown out. From that point, the studio heads at Infinity Ward were adamant about, give us your feedback. We want to hear everything that we can to make this game better than Modern Warfare 2019, so on and so forth. They continued that spiel for a while, then come COD Next, quite literally none of the proposed feedback was ever implemented. One thing that if you do like this game, that's totally cool and I'm happy that you do, but one thing that you cannot deny is the objective bit of information that COD Next was a system shock to a lot of people. The initial reaction was not great for multiplayer or especially Warzone that we saw at that point. Since then, a lot of Warzone has been changed, multiplayer not so much. From the very beginning, before the game was ever officially revealed, to have that feedback air quote considered and then just tossed aside just for the sake of optics of, oh, we're taking your feedback into account and then doing nothing nothing about it, from the very beginning, I felt burned. So for me, from a personal perspective, in that capacity, I'm really hoping that this truly is just Sledgehammer making those adjustments the community has been asking for since then. I think that would be a great start here in how we approach this game. Will that all happen? Of course, only time will tell. But when I think about like this year in terms of like relative comparisons, I kind of think this will be comparable to the original Modern Warfare 3. Kind of. By all accounts, this kind of sounds more like an expansion for Modern Warfare 2 rather than a whole new game. Even though it is being developed seemingly as its own application, its own EXE, it'll boot standalone. You don't have to go through Modern Warfare 2 or anything like that. Content carryover, same engine, potentially art direction, Infinity Ward having a hand in the narrative and universal direction, but with gameplay adjustments, features, and more that are complete opposite of Modern Warfare 2, it just feels like an expansion, you know? Could it and should it be free expansion? I'd love to say yes to both of those, but as I've said before, a corporation's going to do what they do anytime they see a dollar sign, and especially when there's a billion with a B of those dollar signs. Modern Warfare 3, for those that were around long enough, it is objective truth that people had the exact same feeling here that we have right now. It's just another year of the same. That sort of reaction to Modern Warfare 3 after Modern Warfare 2. That's the entire mantra and reason as to why we saw like eventual advanced movement games in COD to begin with, because everything was just, oh, it's just a copy and paste, the same game over and over again. So ultimately, Sledgehammer has the potential to come in and do what they did over 10 years ago at this point now. Correct course on what a lot of players wanted, and to make this a Modern Warfare game that we had maybe hoped this year would have been, and perhaps introduce even more innovations to the franchise that aren't really that bad, or changes that are made just for the sake of change. They helped do it with the original Modern Warfare 3 with specialist streak packages, point streaks, and so on, so maybe there's something hidden up their sleeve this time as well. Which, I said it before, I just love quoting that Phineas and Ferb meme. If I had a nickel for every time Sledgehammer had the chance to help craft a better Modern Warfare game than Infinity Ward, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right? But I've mentioned it before, the coverage we've done so far of Modern Warfare 3, truly, I'm not trying to hype anybody up. I'm just trying to do my job to keep players informed with information that is relevant to the discussion. And I will say the annual prescription of Hopium is on the counter for sure, but while I'm hoping for something good, there's not an ounce of my body that's immediately like, yes, this is gonna be a great game. Because, I mean, it's very possible it's going to be very similar to this year right now, just again with some core gameplay changes, which I have seen some comments mention like, why is everybody already praising this game, blah, blah, blah. And like the only stuff that I've actually seen any sort of air quote praise on was the gameplay changes that are seemingly coming. And that's still very few and far in between. I think that it's important to acknowledge that yes, those changes can be very good, but it's also imperative to know that, I mean, that's just kind of a band-aid at that point, right? All in all, I just think it sucks that this past year was a year called Modern Warfare 2, something that, I mean, the numbers spoke for themselves. A ton of people were excited for this year ahead of the launch last year, and we were so ready to get out of the Vanguard era, the Cold War era at the time. A lot of people now looking back more fondly at Cold War, and so people were really excited to see what the next Modern Warfare game was, but it sucks now that a Modern Warfare 3 is upcoming here after a very poor reception of this past year. My biggest takeaway with quite literally all of this, the big thing that I want you to remember is, of course, we're going to give you the information so that you can do with it what you will, but the biggest thing, reserve any judgment truly until you see gameplay, or better yet, get your hands on it for yourself. If there is going to be some sort of reveal event, that of course will show us gameplay, but we've already seen the betas rumored to be happening at the end of October. There's going to be in both of those weekends, as always, free-to-play access periods for probably this Saturday or Sunday, or like Sunday or Monday windows of those weekends. So at the very least, wait for that to see that gameplay. And again, if you can, jump in and try it out whenever those betas are live, because I mean, at that point, you got nothing to lose, especially if it's in that free-to-play window as well. So absolutely be cautious. We'll give you the information here, but I mean, that's where we're at. If you are excited for this game, absolutely more power to you. If you're not, absolutely more power to you. But the key, especially this year, is, I think, just be cautious, man. Don't get your hopes up, because I think that's what this past year really did to a lot of us. And well, not exactly how we'd liked it to turn out. But if we keep those expectations in check, go in with a level head, don't expect too much or this insane great game that is going to save everything, well then maybe we actually do have a good outcome on the other side. As depressing as it sounds, if you don't expect much, you can't really be disappointed. From there, there's really only an upside. So maybe that's how it goes. Anyways, that's what we're going to call it. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you guys looking forward to Modern Warfare 3? Are you going to be cautious? Are you cautiously optimistic? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay updated with all things Modern Warfare 3. XDefiant here, hopefully very soon. I'm really looking forward to that. Some other stuff on the second channel, maybe starting up soon as well, and anything in between, I'd love to have you. So if you'd like to join the community, hit that subscribe button. But for now, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.